University colleagues, please give your attention to center stage, where UB students Amanda Healy and Nathan Eck of the UB Zodiac Dance Company will open up things with a little connection between climate and action.
Bum bum bum, beep beep bum bum bum, beep beep bum bum bum. You give me a glow, you give me a lift. Oh, where did you go to get such a gift? Oh, where did you learn to dance? Oh, what grace, what technique?
I went to my ballet class 4 or 5 times a week.
Miss Leroy, your movements have me so completely floored.
Call me Judy.
Judy, you deserve an Anatomy Award. Where did you learn to twirl so superlatively? You're getting me all agog with your choreography. When you tap so, I am absolutely in a trance. Say you could be a big star if you had the chance. Little lady, where did you learn to dance? How did you get your shoes so enthusiastic? I seem to flip when you trip, the light fantastic.
Well, would you state that you're an ardent patron of ballet?
Quite so, and might I say that I dig your tour jeté.
Crazy man.
Where did you get that quake and quiver?
It was way down upon the Swanee River.
I like your poise, that is, I mean, I'm keen about your stance. Say you could be the epitome of romance. What am I saying? Where did you learn to dance? How you do twist, how you do turn. You better take care or the carpet will burn. Where did you learn to dance?
Thank you, Amanda and Nathan. And now, please welcome UB student Natasha Acevedo, who will read a short piece of poetry.
Every winter is getting warmer. The snow disintegrates into a fractured memory. Mother Nature's storms erupt for a day or two to reveal her fury and slowly die down. The seasons begin to meld into one another. Once winter turns endless summer, and I feel powerless to stop, that everything has changed. Every year I am getting older. With my slow crawl towards adulthood, my voice begins to take its form. My hands, my words become weapons for change, but everyday waste becomes a conscious exchange. I'm sorry, Earth, for that Moe's bowl that I did not recycle that one time. I was too lazy to wash the plastic. Still it feels my efforts are spastic. Still it feels this world is bound for decay. Too many oil spills, innovation gone array, too many lives, cars moving too fast. Still, it feels still. Still, I think we can last. Still, if we push against carbon emissions, we can last. Something tells me we don't have to let our home turn to a wasteland. Something tells me we can slow the crawl towards degradation, hand in hand. It starts with a solar panel. It starts with a plan, a change in policy, a course of action, a conversation with a friend. Be conscious of yourself. This is sacred, stolen ground. I mean no discomfort, but I think conscious change is profound. Every year the summer stalls and we're not getting any younger, but I think our future is still brighter than any of us will ever remember. We can't stop what's occurred, but we can change what we do. Within the next 10 years, with the right action, we can be neutral with CO2. Every day we are getting closer. The years of melting ice caps, rising tides disintegrate into a fractured memory. Mother Nature and I in harmony, and slowly we begin to heal. Thank you.
Things off today with a little bit of art and a beautiful reminder of the just the creativity of our students and all the beauty that they bring into the world. Thank you, Natasha, Amanda, Nathan. One more round of applause for their great work. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Ryan McPherson. I'm the Chief Sustainability Officer here at the university. We hope you enjoyed this morning's vegetarian breakfast. Fun little fact, yes, I'm going to do these throughout the entire talk this morning. 25% of our footprint here at the university comes from the food we eat, and eating a little bit lower down the carbon food chain is both the easiest and cheapest way, as my students remind me, to take climate action. And also, thanks to the 10%, a little bit over 10% of you who are vegetarian and vegan here today, you give me great inspiration that I can get there. I'm on my way, I'm almost there. There is no better way to start us off this morning than by acknowledging the land upon which the University at Buffalo operates, which is the territory of the Seneca Nation, a member of the Haudenosaunee Six Nation Confederacy. This territory is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Treaty of Peace and Friendship, a pledge to peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. It's also covered by the 1794 Treaty of Canandaigua between the United States government and the Six Nation Confederacy, which further affirmed Haudenosaunee land rights, sovereignty in the state of New York. Today, this region is still home to the Haudenosaunee, and we are grateful for the opportunity to live, to work, to play, and to share ideas in this beautiful territory. This past summer, the university had the opportunity to host a global Indigenous environmental community along with the Nature Conservancy for 3 days on the South Campus. With over 160 leaders from around the world to learn, it was inspirational from our own, from both the broader Haudenosaunee community as well as our own UB Indigenous Studies department here at UB. The Haudenosaunee have been stewarding this land and this region sustainably for thousands of years. and it's now our responsibility to listen, to take action as they have exemplified. We'd also like to specifically call out the ways in which we're working to infuse climate justice into today's event. Each of these 10 areas behind me here are ways we're working to incorporate equity, inclusion, belonging, and justice into our time this morning and beyond. In addition to the great art that we just experienced, we're going to spend the next 40 minutes here to share a few updates from our university on the progress we're making with our climate action, reduction of emissions. We're going to hear from two of our undergraduate change agents who are advancing sustainability and entrepreneurship. And then we're going to leverage your great expertise here by listening to your ideas and outlook through the exercise at the back of the room on the boards. And then Vice President Hubbard is going to announce the Sustainability Leadership Innovation and Collaborative Engagement Awards, otherwise known as SLICE. And finally, we'll close things out with some wise counsel from one of our graduate students. So in an effort to make a little bit more room for the engagement activity with the session with the boards and increase, I guess, a little wellness, we also dropped the chairs and tables from last year's event, so we appreciate all of your flexibility today with us. You know, our university has shown a streak of radical, pragmatic idealism. And we're not only ready to lead, but we are leading. And we are leading because of everyone in this room and many, many others here at the university. Whether it's our time in the pandemic together, climate-induced extreme weather, the rise and opportunity of AI, democracy under threat, or conflicts across the globe, you are making the necessary changes and building the future that we seek every day, and we are incredibly grateful for that. Here are a few examples of this work, and in the spirit of the 90s and 80s fashion coming back into vogue on campus, we wanted to pay a little bit of tribute to that era's look and feel in the piece.
Recycling? Nice.
I love that UB gives us the tools to reduce our carbon footprint on campus.
I know, but there's so much more to going green than recycling.
Yeah, but it's so complicated. I have a million other things to figure out right now, like where the party is tonight.
Let us break it down for you. The climate action part, not the party.
The biggest part of deep decarbonization is happening right now, just under our feet, and we may not even know it.
See what I'm saying about complicated?
I know, it's tricky, but experts like Tonga Pham, who oversee the 200 buildings here at UB and all of our facilities, have created a roadmap to phasing out fossil fuels, like natural gas, which we use to heat our campus.
Hey, Tonga.
Hi.
Hey there, how's it going?
So, what's the latest with these systems on South Campus?
Oh, that's a great question. Super excited about everything that's happening here. So, Crosby Hall here, we just finished the construction work and we installed water-cooled heat pumps into it. And we're doing the same thing over there in Foster Hall, which will just be wrapping up soon.
That's cool, but what about North Campus?
Yeah, we're not ignoring North Campus either. We're starting our Clean Energy Master Plan exercise, and hopefully that'll also give us a framework as to what we want to do up there around the heating systems.
And this all fits in perfectly with the university's goal of deep decarbonization, right?
That's right.
Boy, I love taking the Stampede to and from classes, but those fumes give me a headache.
You know they're all getting upgraded, right?
How do you know?
It's complicated.
Hey, it's Chris Austin.
It's great to see you both.
Is it true half the bus fleet will be electric?
It is true. The university is really excited to be in position to transition half of its transit fleet to battery electric. So this transition will decrease the use of diesel fuel to the tune of 70,000 gallons.
Well, I heard last year there's a new electric vehicle fleet parking lot coming with enough capacity to charge over 50 vehicles at once.
Yes, you've heard correctly. The university is in the design phase of a fleet lot that will provide a mix of level 2 and level 3 chargers that will help the university transition and decarbonize the campus fleet.
Remember you mentioned the recycling?
Yeah.
Well, 15% of our emissions come from waste and recycling, and moving to composting and recycling would eliminate this. It turns out that UB is overhauling its zero waste efforts, advancing a new strategy, and investing in a state-of-the-art collection infrastructure. What does UB's waste look like, and what can be done to improve it?
That's a great question, Amaya. We weren't sure what our waste looked like. We looked at all of the materials that were coming out of buildings in order to give us a better perspective on where our opportunities lie. We will be redoing the way that we use resources on this campus.
What tools do we need to make this jump and increase emission reduction in the space?
We're really thinking about a circular system here on campus. How can we reduce the amount of materials that we're purchasing, better use the materials that we need, and then how do we dispose of them in responsible ways once we're done with those items?
But recycling and composting only helps to decrease the waste. What's really needed is avoiding the carbon in the first place.
Well, how do I even do that when it comes to something like eating?
Well, actually, this is an area that isn't that complicated. Did you know that the average American's carbon footprint mostly comes from the food we consume?
Derek, I know you're the sustainability expert on carbon emissions. How big a difference does it make in our carbon emissions if we were to decrease or eliminate red meat?
That is such a great question. So our choices with our diets are really personal. So they're cultural. Food is comforting. So to say we want to eliminate red meat from our diet is a hard ask for a lot of people. In reality, though, our food system generates 25% emissions of all global greenhouse gases. When we incorporate beef and milk, about 66% of our food-based emissions are from those sources. So to change your diet, eliminate red meat, dairy, maybe once or twice a week, would have a really high impact.
How is UB trying to help students know what foods are actually low carbon?
We have really great partners with Campus Dining and Shops, and we've been going through a list of all the ingredients that are used in all the recipes in our dining facilities here.
Beth, how can we track the emissions that come from our travel?
Oh, great question. So now we are able to electronically capture all of our carbon emissions associated with travel. And that's one reason why it is so important for university travelers to record detailed travel information in the university's Concur travel platform.
What can we do to minimize those emissions?
Well, travel is essential to the university's mission, but being more strategic on how and when we travel is important for us to consider.
I can't believe how much climate work is happening behind the scenes. All while I'm sitting at biology class.
Did we make it a little less complicated?
Yeah, thanks for the help. Now, can you help me with this assignment?
So we just received a call. John Della Contrada just called me and told me that there were a few nominations that came in from Hollywood for the next Oscar. So I do want to thank our student actors as well as our Center for the Arts production team and all of the climate action captains. They're the ones who lead the 10 initiatives and the 3 integrators who are doing such fantastic work, as well as all of the students, faculty, and staff who are part of those committees. Just an immense amount of gratitude for how they are building a better UB. We also want to recognize our Student Sustainability Impact Team for their work. This group is around 20 students, and it was formed basically a year ago from a direct recommendation from this very event. And they've been providing all sorts of services, including composting pilots, green event kits, energy audits to offices, and so much more. So far, the team has served over 1,500 people across campus, and a fun fact, they've already prevented the use of nearly 5,000 pieces of plastic cutlery from being used and discarded. Yes, that gift that you received on the way in was not really a gift, but a thinly veiled request for you to reduce the amount of single-use plastic that you're using. And part of the SIT's work has also been to help us get the word out about Hired, UB's gently used professional clothing boutique aimed at helping students achieve their career development goals. Hired has already provided over 150 students with a new professional look, like our models and current student assistants, Divine and Kiara. This is your one chance at the catwalk. I love it. beautiful fashion. And we'd ask you to help us in two ways here. One, help us get the message out to other students across the university that this resource is here for gently used professional clothing. And two, if you have stellar professional clothing, especially women's clothing, we would love to have it in terms of if you'd like to donate it to us. And also just a little bit of a plug, thank you to Benzinger's Clothing, who has helped us and provided all of the washing and professional attire to us, so thank you for that. I'd also like to, sorry Kayla, I'm gonna do a little audible here. I'd also like to introduce Kayla Owen, who joined our team this year and has just been a fantastic addition, and she is the wizard behind the curtain who's making everything work. Where are you, Kayla? Right here. Thank you very much, Kayla. And while the video showcased some of the work UB is doing, I'd also like to take a minute to highlight a few additional climate action initiatives here at UB. Late last year, UB was awarded a Second Nature Catalyst grant to fund projects designated to advance climate justice work, spark decarbonization, and build climate resilience between the university and the community. This work is really supporting a series of workshops and dialogues that will engage young people both on campus and off campus in prioritizing climate action efforts with faculty and the university. I want to thank Derek for your work in leveraging that grant. I also want to thank Professors Alexa Schindel, Monica Miles, and Jason Corwin, and the entire Climate Justice Integrator that was launched here a year ago for the work that they have been doing to advance all of this great impact. And the Regional Institute is also advancing community climate work across Western New York. Last month, the Institute, in partnership with the Buffalo-Niagara Regional Transportation Council, launched our region's first priority climate action plan that's focused on identifying action steps that Buffalo-Niagara can take to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. This plan outlines the baseline of the causes of greenhouse gas emissions from the region, describes key issues to and priorities to ensure regional climate action by addressing the needs of disadvantaged and underrepresented communities, and identifies priority measures the region can take between now and 2030 to advance climate mitigation. I also wanted to reinforce the circularity work that Aaron Muscati referenced in the video that's going to be really important to us this next year. While stewarding our material use is of course key, what's less known is the large amount of greenhouse gas emissions that are associated with those materials. There are two areas that we'll be working on to reduce these emissions and materials. First, the State University of New York has issued a new policy calling for the elimination of the use of single-use plastics across our campuses. I'm really proud to say that UB played a key role in helping to develop this, and it's a well-thought-out, phased-in policy that will help wean us off of this petroleum product. That's another reason why you received those utensils earlier this morning, so you can throw them in your purse, your bag, et cetera, and use them on the go across campus. And while we're working to rethink what materials we use in the first place, like single-use plastics, we also know that our waste and recycling infrastructure needs serious investment and attention. That's why the university is working to upgrade our circularity strategy in three key ways. First, we're just about finished with the draft of a strategic plan to help us achieve 90% diversion of waste from landfill and incineration by 2030, and we look really forward to sharing this with you. Second, we will be making a major investment to improve our collection infrastructure to ensure wherever you are on campus, you'll always know how and where to recycle and compost. And third, we're rethinking how we collect and move materials off our campus to ensure that items are diverted for their highest end use. I'm also happy to announce that in addition to this investment in our circularity strategy, the university has also made a major fiscal commitment to our collective ongoing climate action work with the establishment of the Climate Action Fund. This fund will provide designated and additional critical funds to catalyze the university's work in this space. And the climate captain leaders will evaluate proposals based on the potential of the emission reduction, the overarching costs, the feasibility, and the connection, of course, to the Climate Action Plan. We are incredibly grateful to the university for this recurring investment. which represents a clear signal of dedication and commitment to the work. On a personal note, I'd like to thank Vice President Hubbard for your leadership, Comptroller Beth Corey, and Provost Weber for their commitment to making this happen, and it is going to really help us reach the next level. And finally, and most exciting, at least for us climate action nerds, well, maybe, we are really looking forward to leveraging another award UB recently won in a highly competitive selection process. Next month, the university will begin receiving pro bono consulting services from Brailsford and Dunleavy, one of the top higher education decarbonization firms in the country, to kind of better help us develop detailed and specific goals pegged to definitive timelines that will provide clear budgetary implications across the emission streams at the university. This summer and early fall, we'll develop a detailed decarbonization and monitoring system that dials in the university's efforts with SMART goals and greatly assist us with tracking kind of KPIs, increasing institutional accountability, and driving greater carbon emission savings. There's a lot more happening across the university, in the classrooms, in the labs, in the construction sites. In fact, we just had shy of 100 different sustainability stories occur throughout our biweekly newsletter since we were last here on Earth Day a year ago. Many of those stories touch on our fantastic students who are doing great work to bring our emissions down. Two of those students are here with us today, Ava Fetzner and Joe Cortez, both undergrads from the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences. Joe and Ava recently pitched their great work and their climate action idea at the Panache Finals last week on this very stage. And we asked them to join us today to really tell a version of that story. Ava and Joe. Great. Thank you. Super. Thanks.
Thank you, Ryan, and thank you everyone for being here today. We know that composting is great for the environment, and we at Ducks want to make it even better with our simple, environmentally friendly, and impactful solution.
So our story begins in January of 2023 when we went on a study abroad trip led by Professor John Atkinson to Costa Rica. Here we were learning about clean energy solutions and other sustainable alternatives, but the most impactful part of this trip was speaking to people in the local community and finding their pure passion for sustainability and how they implement it in their everyday lives. And we wanted to bring this same passion to our community in Buffalo. That's why we created Ducks, where we're innovating biofilter technology. So the main problems that compost has is the high emissions of methane and ammonia gases. Methane is 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide, and ammonia attributes to that strong smell that's commonly associated with these piles.
So our solution to this problem is the biochar wattle. What is that? Let's break it down. A biochar wattle is a filter or a blanket that can be placed over a composting pile and capture the emissions that are coming off of it. Our wattle is made up of two main components: biochar, which is a charcoal-like substance made from organic waste that's heated through the process of pyrolysis, which is heating in the absence of oxygen, and burlap, which is biodegradable and has the perfect porosity for housing our biochar. So how does this all work? Our wattle is placed over a composting pile. The biochar inside absorbs or captures the methane and ammonia emissions coming off of it. Through emissions testing, we're expecting to capture 50% of ammonia and 30% of methane coming from these composting piles.
So we're currently undergoing lab research led by Dr. Ian Bradley, where we're collecting wastewater for treatment facilities and then growing them in a lab setting to create growing algae inside in a lab setting. So through that, we can put it through that pyrolysis process and create biochar. So here's a little bit about how our business works. We take that algae and make biochar, as we explained, and then we pair this with reused burlap to manufacture our biochar wattle. This can be then laid over any size composting pile to capture these harmful emissions. So we have worked heavily with the University CoLab and Blackstone Launchpad in developing the business side of Ducks. And they have been really impactful in investing in many different sustainable projects. And the next steps of our planning for our business are to continue that prototyping of this device and conduct emissions testing.
And so your commitment to sustainability and the university, as well as the Buffalo community, is truly inspiring. We hope to empower those in our community to take sustainability into their own hands, helping both people and the planet. So we're so excited to continue this journey together toward climate action. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe and Ava. It's great. We're very grateful that they shared this opportunity or shared their pitch or their story here because, no matter what your role here is at the university, that's why we're here, for students like that. There's hundreds of thousands of ideas out there, and we're all here to help them flourish and go out into the real world and solve crises. By the way, yes, I am the guy in the video that was talking very violently with his hands about food. So I'm here to now violently tell you we're going to transition to an engagement session. So there'll be a little less talking, a little more mingling and sharing of ideas. So on the boards behind you when you walked in, they're a collection of 4 prompts. There's 8 boards, they're duplicate prompts. So if you work from out to in, they'll repeat. Just for a little bit of flow. And then there'll be students at the boards with a handful of markers. So the goal is for you all to answer the prompts that are on the boards. So we spent the past 20 minutes kind of invoking and trying to inspire you by students, by dancing, by pitching, by poetry, by doing a little strut on stage. So we really want you to think about what kind of message you want to leave for the future. We also asked for items for a time capsule too. So the spirit of this event is about that legacy. Think about signing your best friend's high school yearbook. That's the vibe we want on these boards back here. So be creative. It could be one word, it could be a sentence, it could be a picture. We have all the colors of the rainbow and markers too if you really want to go nuts with it. So you'll have about 10 to 15 minutes to do this. So we help use your peers as inspiration too. So lights will go up. You'll go back there. Oh, hey, that's pretty powerful. My hands were tethered by my notes and my microphone, so I didn't put on much of a show up here. So, okay, have at it, and thank you all for coming. We'll follow up in about 10 to 15 minutes. So we're going to reconvene back up here, and we're going to start closing things up. Final thoughts on the boards, pens down. So what you did there, the goal is after this event, we will take pictures of all that, and of course everything that was happening throughout the event, collect the poems that the students recited, and we'll make a little zine or a scrapbook, depending on your generation, whatever you want to call it, and we'll send that out to everybody who's here, just as a deliverable. Back to my urban planning days. That's a deliverable from this event. So that being said, I'd like to turn it over to the Vice President for Finance Administration, Laura Hubbard, and we're going to move right into our SLICE Awards. So thank you.
Thank you, Derek, and thank you to everyone for being here today and for sharing your thoughts with us. Look forward to looking at those. So I get the fun part of the ceremony here, which is announcing some awards. So since their inception in 2015, UB's Sustainability, Leadership, Innovation, and Collaborative Engagement Awards, better known as SLICE, because who can say the full term, have provided us an opportunity to highlight the exemplary sustainability efforts of the UB community, and there are really many. Each year, we're totally in awe of what's being done both on and off the campus to improve our planet and mankind, and this year is certainly no different. So once again, we've created unique awards by repurposing a piece of our buildings that have been renovated or built, so you can literally always have a piece of UB with you. This year's SLICE Award is made from reclaimed limestone from Foster Hall, so these pieces in front of me here or beside me. A fixture of UB's South Campus since 1921, and which is recently renovated into a low-carbon building that is powered, cooled, and heated by renewable energy. So here we go into the awards. I'll begin our presentation by announcing the winner in each respective category, and I will ask that the winners join me in front of the stage as I call your name. So here we go. The winner of the Staff Award for Sustainability Operations Initiative is Alyssa Dragg, Assistant Director of Employer Relations and External Engagement at the Career Design Center. Thank you. Yep. Over the past 5 years, Alyssa has done exceptional work to build deeper connections between sustainability and career readiness for our students, catalyzing our graduates to infuse environmentalism and social justice in their professional lives across all majors and disciplines. She has fostered many great relationships with external employers that are eager to hire students with skills in sustainability and sustainable resource management. Thank you, Alyssa. This year's winner of the Student Award for Sustainability Excellence is Michael Griffin, a master's student in sustainability leadership, a program within the Department of Environment and Sustainability at the college. His academic case study will serve as a model for future sustainability students seeking to develop pedagogical tools for sustainability education. In addition, Mike manages the Student Sustainability Impact Team, who, as Ryan mentioned earlier, work to fulfill sustainability requests across our UB community. Mike has also taken UB's sustainability communications to the next level through his work with the website, social media, and newsletter curation. So thank you, Mike. All right. Next up, we want to recognize faculty, and unfortunately, our recipient wasn't able to be with us today and sends his regrets, but we want to recognize him in absentia. So receiving the 2024 Faculty Award for Sustainability in Higher Education is Professor John Atkinson, who you heard about earlier. The Scott and Colleen Stevens Chair in Engineering Sustainability in the Department of Civil, Structural, and Environmental Engineering. Whether it's creating innovative and life-altering learning opportunities through his work in advancing the Costa Rica sustainability trip, the experiential teaching methods he leverages in the classroom, or the knowledge he spreads through the Sustainability Master's Program, John has nurtured the development of our students' potential to not only have them recognize our planet's needs, but also the role that they can play in creating the future we seek. In addition, John not only teaches the importance of sustainability, but lives it and models a low-carbon lifestyle. So please, let's recognize Professor Atkinson. All right, next up. This year's winner of the Award for Sustainability Excellence by a department or team is the Regional Institute and their work in advancing the One Region Forward for climate action. Joshua McLean is accepting this award on behalf of the Regional Institute. The One Region Forward for Climate Action Plan offers the Buffalo Niagara community a stark reminder of its carbon footprint, and we saw a little bit about that earlier. But more importantly, advances key issues and priorities to ensure regional climate action addresses the needs of disadvantaged and underrepresented communities, and identifies priority measures the region can take between now and 2030. So thank you to the Regional Institute. Okay, this year we also have two new SLICE Award categories we are introducing: an award for leadership in climate justice and an award to recognize sustainability excellence in our alumni. The winner of this year's Leadership in Climate Justice Award is Tendahe Yauku, who is a senior studying environmental design. Tendahe works as the Ecological Justice Coordinator with Open Buffalo, leading clean mobility projects and creating equitable neighborhood adoptions of regenerative and cooperative communities. Their dedication to advocating for sustainability and power building in marginalized groups is vital and inspiring. Very cool. Yep, that's it. Can I hand it off to him? Yeah. Congratulations. Okay, and last but not least, the winner of our first ever Alumni Award for Sustainability Excellence is Jessica Otney Marr, class of 2000 and a graduate of the College of Arts and Sciences. Jessica is the current New York Director of Policy and Strategy at the Nature Conservancy, the largest environmental organization in the world. Jessica has already had a long and impactful career on behalf of our environment. Most recently, she quarterbacked the Clean Water and Jobs Coalition Bond Act, the largest environmental bond measure in New York State history, which secured a $4.2 billion investment for the environment and climate action. Jess has also played a key leadership role in developing New York's climate action strategy, as well as her conservation work at the national level. Jessica, we're proud to have you as an alum, and thank you for making the trip from Albany today and for everything you do for UB, New York, and the future. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Laura. Thank you so much. And another round for all of our winners of SLICE today. Thank you very much. Also, if you have someone that you think would be a good nominee for next year, please nominate them. We're always looking for to recognize our great change agents across campus. To close things out today, as we move here to close, we're very grateful to be joined by UB student Delaney McNulty. Delaney is a graduate student in the Department of Philosophy and focuses on cognitive science, law, bioethics, and indigenous philosophy. That's a lot, Delaney. I've personally really enjoyed getting to know Delaney, and I know you will too. Delaney?
Sio, Dogoda'a, Delaney McNulty, Titstelegi Aniwaya. Hello, my name is Delaney. I'm from the Cherokee Nation Wolf Clan. I want to say Wado, thank you to the Office of Sustainability for inviting me here to speak with you and to celebrate Earth Day with you today. I'm originally from the beautiful and strange state of Utah. Like much of the Mountain West, Utah is a desert. I have grown up my whole life in a drought. Water is such a precious resource. As we may hear, water is life. Growing up in the desert, I remember distinctly filling up my mom's watering cans to care for our garden, always taking just enough and never too much. And I remember one wildfire season distinctly. The mountain that I always considered to guard my home caught on fire. My family was forced to evacuate along with my 90-year-old grandmother, and we watched the fire burn the mountain. And the mountain bore the scars of that fire for many, many years. It was black and charred and dangerous. But over time, the mountain did turn green again. And I remember feeling so hopeful that first spring when wildflowers appeared on the ridges again. We are not just at a pivotal moment in history, we're at a critical juncture. We really do face total devastation, but there is hope. We can engage in stewardship to create more green spaces and wildflowers. much like the patch in front of Diefendorf Hall. Here in Seneca territory, in the embrace of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, I challenge each of you to start thinking of the next 7 generations. This Haudenosaunee principle of the 7 generations compels us to think of not us, not just our grandchildren, but the next 7 grandchildren. This principle has always been echoed, I think, perfectly in Chief Seattle's words when he said, "We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children." Indigenous people have been leading the fight against climate change and have been engaged in climate action and justice long before we had words for this. Indigenous science has proven itself effective time and time again at fighting the effects of climate change. In 2022, New York State gave back roughly 1,000 acres to the Onondaga Nation. And in 2024, in February, the Environmental Protection Agency committed $23 million to clean up Onondaga Lake. While this inspiring land back initiative is exciting, it does not go far enough. I want to echo the Onondaga Nation and say that this cleanup action is not enough. This does not make the lake fishable or swimmable again. And I would like to see stewardship return to the Onondaga Nation in this initiative. It is easy to be swept up in smoke, especially in wildfire smoke, as I'm sure all of us who were here in Buffalo over the summer remembered from last year. Similarly, it's easy to be swept up in the smoke of progress. And although these exciting initiatives with solar panels and electric cars inspire us and make us want to jump with both feet, we must remember that 85% of lithium mines are on or near indigenous lands. And in the United States, lithium and copper mines are being approved that are on indigenous sacred sites. This lithium and copper is essential for us to move towards renewable energy. But I encourage all of us to not forget the indigenous people, our home, and our wisdoms that we may risk. I am very inspired to be here with you today. As we come together to honor our home, the earth, I hope I can add to your sense of purpose and inspire hope that will guide your hearts and your minds as we continue to honor our earth, her inhabitants, and all of our relations. We must resist pessimism during this time and embrace the challenges and the changes that longevity can bring through sustainability. I have seen with my own eyes how a scorched mountain can turn green again, how polluted waterways can run clear again, and how we can all be better stewards of our home, the earth. As you leave here today, I encourage you to think of the next 7 generations, or at least your children and their children and your friends' children. I hope that you all leave here today inspired to hug a tree, to thank the ground, and to look forward to a beautiful future together. Buedo.
Thank you, Delaney, for reminding us why we're here. Thank you very much. And thank you to all of you for joining us today. Thank you for all you do to advance climate action, both here at the university and well beyond. Have a wonderful Earth Day, and the sun's shining. Thank you.